Today we're going through the 30 new Divine Codes Part 6 common manuals you can earn throughout the next year of Fire Emblem Heroes. Each of these 6 paths must be bought in order from left to right. If you want the last unit in a row, then that's a total of 6,000 Divine Codes. We'll talk about what's worth getting and how difficult the prereq fodder is to get. From update 9.3 onward, we will get Divine Codes Part 6 from all reward sources. Use these to purchase the 30 new combat manuals from the Norma 6 section. As usual, you can convert Divine Codes down, but you cannot exchange them up a tier. The game automatically converts newer Divine Codes down if you wanted to buy older manuals. Do be careful because generally speaking, the newer selections simply have better skills.
I will not die again, knowing there is someone who waited 1,000 years for me the first time.
The Awakening/Engage group is an interesting change-up. First up, Summer Olivia. You can get her Scene Tambourine plus Colorless Tome along with Attack and Speed Far Trace or Rain 3. There is no Attack and Speed Far Trace 4 yet, but there is an Attack and Speed Rain Snap on Festival Mia, who is another common manual you can buy. For Sea Tambourine, there are few colorless mages who need an inheritable, but it's a decent option. This is an odd Attack and Speed Wave 4 type weapon. Attack and Speed buffs for your team, extra Attack and Speed for the user on odd turns, and if you have 5 more speed than the enemy, you get no follow-up. Maybe we'll get more non-5-star colorless mages this year. Next, Bridal Lapis has Flared Sparrow for instant damage and Flame Tiles. It's easy to inherit from Swift Sparrow too. For free-to-play friendly skills, I'll be listing some demote and heroic growth sources. If you don't need Flared Sparrow, Lapis also has Panic Smoke 4. Panic and Footprint Delver is good, but you gotta fight before it's active. If you only need one of these skills, Lapis has Flow Guard 4. No follow-up, Guard, and Scowl for non-dragons is very nice. Halloween now has a variety of nice skills. It's possible to get her whole kit if you have Defense Res near save 3. That lets you grab the Twin Save variant, which lets single-use percentage effects from specials such as Armored Blaze, proc twice. Earth Fire Boost can grant attack and defense, plus 5 HP, and Guard. It comes with Earth Boost 3 or Fire Boost 3, which have a few easy sources. Dragon Scales is interesting, and the recent Rafal basically wants this for his kit. You do a defense or res comparison to get up to -11 debuffs. It grants a free follow-up, 50% DR piercing, and -1 instant cooldown before the foe attacks. This builds from Dragon's Ire 3, which Nier's Femokana has. If you only need the armor skills, you can get Armored Blaze with the full Twin Save skill line. If you just want Dragon Scales, you can get Earth Fire Boost. Ninja Diamant has a couple rare skills. He's currently the only unit with Boulder, which is a bonfire special with 40% unpierceable DR. He was the only unit with Attack and Defense Spiked Wall until Ash got a remix. Bulwark with true damage, flat DR, and no guard. Now Endless Tempest is only on Brave Felix. Closer movement with the low effect. Attack and Defense Finish 4 was also only on regular Diamant. Still a solid stat booster with the 5 true damage and 7 HP healing when your special is ready. Thanks to Summer Vake, we can get the tier 3. You can get everything here since Attack and Defense Bulwark 3 is on a few 5 stars. Same goes for Otter Even Tempest. While Finish 4 is good, there are lots of other A skill options. The unpierceable percent DR via Boulder is just very strong currently. Last up, the most recent unit here is Rearmed Nell. As a reminder, Rearmed combat manuals are best used to refresh the arcane inheritance of an actual copy of the unit. That way, you can get a merge and pass on other skills you've given them. Nell's Arcane Fell Arts grants plus 14 stats, true damage, and flat DR based on attack, and it has Sling, Bread type cooldown, and -1 instant cooldown before attacking. If you want to use it on a faster dragon, you can also get Edge Scales, which has more true damage, more flat DR, and makes it tougher to W user while giving no follow-up. This skill comes from Dragon's Wrath 3, which is very hard to find. Since Dragon's Ire 3 was on a heroic rail unit, maybe Dragon's Wrath can get the same treatment. Now until then, it's quite hard to get Nell's full kit. It is possible though, since Dragon's Roar can come from Iceberg. This is the dragon only 40% DR special. As for Barricade, it comes from Close or Distant Guard 3. It has the Warp Bulb effect with defense and res stat support. The Awakening and Engage path is excellent for dragons. Nell and Na are the only 2 dragons in this year's batch.
I feel as though my curse is finally lifting.
Fates in 3 Houses starts off with Hoshiden Festival Leo. We have another inheritable colorless tome in Juicy Bucketful Plus. Plus 6 attack, a free follow-up for initiating as a status, and up to 25 true damage if there are 5 positive statuses between the user and the enemy. Leo's other rare skill is Fatal Smoke 3, which denies healing. The tier 4 has the anti-miracle effect, and this is not a common skill line, so exceptional value for only 400 Divine Codes. If you just want Fatal Smoke, you can save some feathers while getting Stillwater 3. The tier 2 of that skill is on a couple heroic ground units. Summer Petra has 2 rare skills. Desperation 4 allows for instant follow-ups at full HP if you move 2 spaces. Still only otherwise on Tea-Time Lysithia. Speed and Defense Crux is only on this Petra. 3 row 3 column debuffs and the foe takes a free follow-up too. Since Desperation is easy to get, you can snag the tier 4 with Rain and Crux. Decent pure offensive setup for any flyer. Now, flying archers can get Deadeye instead of a DR piercing special. You could do Deadeye and Desperation as well. Ice Tribe Felicia is one of the most popular A skills in recent times with attack and speed excel. Flat damage reduction based on movement, and you get double the amount if the foe triggers a special. Sadly, attack and speed clash 3 is still hard to get. There is a cheap option in this batch if you want to combo with this Felicia manual. It would allow you to get Excel and Speed and Res near Trace 4, which is only on this Felicia. It's a console option for the rare magical damage Cavaliers. Oddspeed Wave 4 is a more generalist skill, providing team buffs and no follow-up for the user. It's very nice and easy to get since the tier 3 is on some Grow units. Back again for another year is Dimitri. The recent Valentine's ult got a new special that is enticing. Haze Slice is the unpierceable 40% DR option for melee units, but it's player phase only. To compensate, this 40% DR effect applies to all hits taken, and you get the -1 instant cooldown. It's pretty dang good. For the powerhouse combo of percent DR and flat DR, you can pair this with attack and speed excel. For a rarer skill though, Shadow Shift 4 allows for reposition during a Kanto action. You can get the +3 stats and 7 HP healing after combat as well. Last up is Rearmed Marianne. Arcane Blood Gang is a red tome, not a sword. +14 stats, true damage based on attack, 7 flat DR, and then cooldown perks of Sling, No Guard, and -1 instant cooldown. It's a fun little weapon. You can get it with Crystalline Water for flat attack and res, and that can be used for speed and res Discord's debuffing effect. Discord's B skills inflict in-combat debuffs for multiple enemies with Discord as a status active. It also grants true damage based on resistance. Last, Speed and Res Crux is the hardest to get since this Rain 3 is not on a free-to-play source. There have been a couple ephemera with it and Brave Violet as a number 4 Divine Codes manual. If you can get this Rain 3, it is possible to get all of Marianne's skills. It's only usable on a fellow flying red mage though. Discord is also only for flyers and infantry units. The Fates in 3 Houses path is very enticing if you just want attack and speed excel. 2 sources of it, plus you can pair it with Haze Slice. We have 2 Crux skills for flyers, and Leo's Fatal Smoke is also pretty good with all the healing around.
For the sake of Dayan's future, I'll never back out of a fight.
The Talius games have one of the most valuable 400 cost combat manuals. Halloween Leith has Attack and Speed Clash 3. Use it to get to Clash 4 or Excel. Her other rare skill is Spin and Defense near Trace 3. There is a tier 4, but Clash 3 fodder is so valuable at the moment. You could just pick up near Trace 2 though, cause why not? Next, Festival Mia has a few fun skills. She's the only unit with Speed and Defense Prime 4, stats based on statuses, and if you have 4 statuses, you get closer to encounter. Mia is one of 2 Pegasus Rift holders. Win a speed plus res check for the true damage, flat DR, Omni Breaker, and Mia can get tough to double the user. Attack and Speed Rain Snap can give +1 movement if near melee infantry or armor units. Now Pegasus Rift 3 is on Phila in the demo pool. Attack and Speed Rain 3 is brand new from Celestia if you can get her in the future. Mia has Luna as a special, but you should probably just get 3 tiers of Prime instead. If you just want Prime 4, you could do one of Pegasus Rift or Rain Snap. Do note the other Pegasus Rift holder is also in this Divine Codes batch. Edward's a very solid comm manual because he has the potent Breath of Life 4. Not only does it provide instant healing which can counteract instant damage effects and AoE specials, it also counters Fatal Smoke partially, and it gives its effect to allies. For speedy units, Edward has Godly Reflexes and Buffer 4 charged up while giving Dodge 4% DR. Last year's Divine Codes batch had Severa, who also has the GLR plus Buffer combo. Thanks to Johanna's Saber, we now have a free-to-play source of Shield Pulse. This means we can now get Edward's full kit. You don't even need the 5-star Saber. For Johanna Ike's Mercenary Services, it's going to cost a pretty penny because if you want 2 of Ike's tier 4 skills, you're going to need some premium stuff. Distant Bonus Doubler is just a distant counter skill with Bonus Doubler 4 for the extra stats. Times Pulse Edge is just Times Pulse 4 with the extra attack and speed. As for Lagu's Loyalty, it's a Lagu's Friend side grade. Same requirements for the special with the regular percent DR having penalty. In return, you get 20% speed as flat DR with -2 cooldown before the full attacks. For the enemy phase only, you are harder to double, and you get 7 true damage. No DR piercing on this skill, and half its effects are enemy phase only. For a general DC build, you can get Distant Bonus Doubler with Times Pulse 3, still good enough to update to the tier 4 Creation Pulse or Pulse Deploy from another unit. Lagu's Loyalty and TP Edge are only from this Ike at the moment. You could get base distant counter with either skill or just upgrade if you already had it from before. Last up, Attuned Makai is here with Far Trace Echo. Basically, it's Far Trace 4 Kanto. If you have a higher res flyer, Makai can also pass along attack and res Crux. If you can get attack and res Rain 3 fodder, you can get Fire Trace Echo, Crux, and Fire Boost 3. Fire Boost 3 or Water Boost 3 are free to play obtainable, this Rain is not. You can, however, get it from Spring Mirabilis for 400 coins in this Divine Codes batch. If you end up doing that, Micaiah has 2 more skill slots for whatever other skills you end up giving her. That is assuming you have an actual attuned Micaiah copy. The Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn path is quite fun. Leith should be considered by everyone just because of Clash 3. Edward and Ike have some speed focus skills plus powerful stuff like DC times Pulse and Breath of Life.
Is there no one willing to spar with me?
Starting off the GBA group is Johanna Tethys. Johanna Dagger Plus is an excellent inheritable weapon. Plus 6 attack and speed, dodge, and debuff neutralization support as buffs. The user also gets Phantom Speed, 7 flat DR, and damage reflection counterattacks, one of the strongest inheritable options around. For other skills, Tethys has Firestorm Dance 3, which grants Conscience to the Dancer and gives an ally attack and speed buffs with Desperation. You can get Gale Dance from Lara to inherit all 3 tiers of Firestorm Dance. This lets you get Johanna Dagger too. Only useful for Dagger Dancers. Another option though is to get Guidance with Firestorm Dance for a Flying Dancer. Guidance 2 is on Bridal Lorem. Ice Tribe Thea is the only current holder of Air Orders 4. This is a fun Fire Emblem skill that can give plus 6 attack and speed, charge, and regular warping. Its tier 3 version is on Zeiss, so you can get Pegasus Rift as well. If you don't want to use Zeiss, you can use Philo for Pegasus Flight 3 to get the Rift. If you have both, you can even grab Iceberg and not have the 5-star Philo. Winter from Mortis offers up the pure tanking Shield Fighter skill. He's also the only unit with attack and defense Briar Far save. Currently, this is the only Briar save skill, which has 40% damage reflection, and it adds 5 flat DR to first attacks. Unfortunately, you need to already have Hardy Fighter 3 or Attack and Defense Far Save 3 to walk away with both skills. A Hero Rises is coming with 2 users of Attack and Defense Far Save 3, one of them is even on this path. Next, Rearmed Lilina makes it very easy to get all of her skills. Arcane Truth Fire is the green inheritable tome that grants plus 6 attack and warping. It has plus 14 stats, true damage based on attack, 7 flat DR, and then slaying with -1 instant cooldown before attacking. Truth Fire is the only arcane weapon currently that also applies the instant cooldown to AoE specials. For her other skills, Lilina has Slime Mirror for a free follow-up, bonus attack and res, and 5 true damage. It only needs Mirror Strike 2. Occultist Strike deals 7 instant damage and grants true damage based on 20% of the foe's res. Poison Strike 3 is easy to find. Last, Attack and Res Ploy 3 inflicts long-range attack and res debuffs, Ploy, and Exposure. It requires Attack Ploy 3 or Res Ploy 3, either one works. If you can get Excalibur, Lilina only needs 4 slots for her entire kit. Let's say you don't have a high-res recipient, Truth Fire and Occultist Strike is just 2 slots, you can just fill the rest with other skills. Following his daughter, Attuned Hector is the last manual in this path. It's possible everyone may get Hector for free depending on how the current A Hero Rises event shapes up. Now, he's there for a reason, and part of it is that Hector has the universal Distant Counter Echo. People have thrown DC on their favorites for 8 years, that ain't stopping soon. Sadly, for non-armor units, the rest of Hector's kit is useless. It's a full-on armor buffet though. Armored Beacon is the ranged bonfire with 40% DR. Wily Fighter 4 gives a free follow-up on either phase, true damage and flat DR based on defense, and indicates enemy field buffs. Compared to former DC's Briar Save, Twin Save is more about defense while still using damage specials. Now, it's possible, but very hard to get all of Hector's kit for a fellow armor. The only other Wily Fighter holder is Ascended Idun. She was in the Divine Codes Part 4 shop, but otherwise, good luck. It depends on how much you want these units, but the GBA path is one of 2 paths that comes with 2 Rearmed/Attuned Heroes, a lot of high value fodder along with Arcane Truth Fire, and then freaking Distant Counter Echo.
This cause of yours is worth pursuing. I will lend you the power of Yufel.
Onto Heroes, Genealogy, and Thracia. Spring Mirabilis makes our choices pretty straightforward. You can get Mystic Boost 3 in full or Attack and Res Rain 3. Mystic Boost 4 is okay, but rarely the go-to B skill. Attack and Res Rain can be used for the tier 4 hold or Crux variant. Attuned Micaiah has this if you're looking for a prereq fodder pickup. Safi is the only healer common manual this year. Luckily, it's pretty easy to get all of her skills. Return is the reposition healing assist, making it the best healing assist by default. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Now, Holy Panic is a 2 cooldown damage special that inflicts attack, speed, and panic debuffs after it triggers. This comes from Miracle. Stillwater 4 isn't as good as Crystalline Water, but it's only one less flat attack and res. As for attack and speed ploy, Safi is still the only unit with this variant. It's perfect for a unit like Valadar. For non-healers, you can save 20,000 feathers by using Sapphire for all 4 tiers of Still Water. Madeir comes with Slice with Sparrow, which feels like it will continue to be a popular skill for a bit. It's a free follow-up skill for Initiate, and you can add 5 true damage. You can use it in place of offense in a follow-up, which is how Madeir is using it. Now, for a skill only found on Madeir, he has Insight, Speed, and Defense. Speed and Defense self-buffing if you're not completely surrounded, and you can get a little extra stats when initiating. So Sparrow 2 and Rouse Speed and Defense 3 are on free-to-play units, but you can save some feathers by using Madeir for the higher tiers. Next, Rearmed Thracia comes with the very popular Arcane Giant Axe. I've been seeing this thing everywhere. The third Arcane Axe neutralizes panic and attack and defense debuffs that happen at start of phase. In combat, it grants up to plus 14 stats, true damage and flat dare based on 15% attack, and has the Sling plus -1 instant cooldown before attack in combo. A lot of axe users have high attack naturally, so this is a great weapon all around. Further skills, Thracia has Armored Blaze, which is the bonfire with 40% DR against melee foes. Earthfire Boost is fine for HP and guard. Currently, Thracia is the only unit with attack and defense twin near save. She basically has the melee counterparts to Attuned Hector's range setup. If you have attack and defense near save 3, you can get everything for a fellow axe armor. If not, you may just want twin save with Giant Axe or twin save with Armored Blaze. For non-armors, Arcane Giant Axe with Earthfire Boost is the best you can do. There will be 3 leftover slots. Last, we have Attuned Bridget. Her X skill is Tempo Echo, which is just Tempo 4. No guard, no extra special charging, and 50% DR piercing. For infantry, this is a great DR piercing option while freeing up all your other slots. No guard is also exceptional, though it's a sacred seal and much more common these days. Currently, Bridget is the only unit with perfect attack and speed. This is a tier 4 ideal A skill that can grant up to 10 attack and speed and no follow-up. I feel like this is a skill we'll see added to more new 5 stars this coming year. Easy to inherit though, since attack and speed ideal 3 is on a bunch of units. Creation Pulse can give -2 instant cooldown, but the foe needs 2 negative statuses. This requires times Pulse 3, which is the hardest thing to get here. If you have that, you can get Bridget's 3 main skills and fill in the rest with maybe something like Deadeye or Curved Shot. If you have nothing better, then like with Ike, you can just always grab times Pulse 3, find a tier 4 upgrade from another source. The Heroes, Genealogy, and Thracia path is the second path with a Rearmed and Attuned hero. Due to how common axe units are, Thracia's Arcane Giant Axe is pretty tempting since we don't know when the 4th Arcane Axe is going to happen. Bridget's perfect attack and speed is really great for no follow-up from that A slot. Tempo Echo is a nice flex option for infantry units.
Some say I should be more genteel. Frankly, I disagree.
Last path is the Heroes, Mystery of the Emblem, and Echoes path. Mycen is the oldest unit here, and I mean that literally. I'm pretty sure he's the oldest released. He's the only unit with joint close guard, plus 4 defense and res for allies within 2 spaces, as well as the user against melee foes. Now, Attack and Defense Clash 4 offers more stats based on movement and neutralizes Attack and Defense debuffs if you move at least 2 spaces. We have had Attack and Defense Clash 3 and Close Guard 3 on free-to-play units. You can save some feathers though, use Mycen for the tier 3 and tier 4 of those skills. Summoner Thews makes our decision for us. Beast Threaten inflicts -7 defense and panic in a large area, and should those land, the user also gets +6 attack and -1 cooldown with the times pulse condition. You want to ideally give this to a Beast, Cav, or Flyer because Thews is another attack and speed excel holder. Threaten defense 3 is easy to find, so we can get the full Clash and Excel skill line at the same time. Our third Johanna unit, Malice, offers more speed-based stuff. She's the only unit with attack and speed spiked wall. If you wanted Bulwark, this is the flat DR and no guard option. You can pair this with the Gust special, the Spirit variant of Boulder for infantry. It's very popular for damage and unpierceable %DR. Last skill is attack and speed prime 4, stats for statuses, and 4 statuses give closer distant counter. We have gotten prime 3 and Bulwark 3 on free-to-play units, just not for attack and speed. You would still need both of those though if you wanted all 3 skills here. Speeding along, Nearest Restvoker has a lot of rare stuff. She's the only unit with Bestial Assault. This is a weird amalgamation of Near Trace for Contour if transformed, true damage based on 20% speed or defense, and then 50% DR piercing. It builds out of Beast Agility 3 or Beast Follow-up 3. Sadly, neither are easy to get, but be on the lookout. As for Nimble Beast and Attack Speed Fortune, both are only otherwise on Mythic Restvoker. Nimble Beast is the speed damage special with unpierceable %DR. Pair that with Enthusiast Excel for a fun time. As for Fortune, this adds extra transformation conditions and allows for immediate transforming in Aether Raid's defense. It also grants a nice +8 attack and speed, low speed and defense, and 7 HP healing after combat. Fortune is easy to inherit since attack and speed form 3 is on free-to-play units. You can't get all 3 skills though unless you can get Bestial Assault's prereqs. Our 30th common manual this year is Attuned Sheeta. She has Guard Echo, which is one of the better X skills for non-infantry tanks simply because there is nothing better. Just encounter Echo aside, Guard Echo inflicts Guard and gives 20% DR on enemy phase. Guard is being bypassed a lot these days, but it can have a use, same for regular percent DR. Maybe not the best option, but that's okay. Sheeta is an infantry attuned unit, so you can give her a lot of other skills. For example, Distant Bonus Doubler is very popular for DC plus stats. Defensive Res Pledge offers Breadtake cooldown, but sadly Defensive Res 03 is still not free-to-play accessible. Spending 4 slots for Pledge is a lot here. The Heroes, Mystery, and Echo's Path feature 3 speed-focused fodder sources and 2 great Beast Common manuals. I would say Sheeta's value will fluctuate the most from this batch of Rearmed/Attuned manuals. Her Attuned skill is okay, but melee infantry Rearmed/Attuned heroes can be given so many different skills. If you have an actual Sheeta copy, then duping those skills with this manual can definitely be worth it for some players. That's going to be it for this video. 30 new common manuals to look forward to in the next year. Now would be a good time to take stock and review last year's normal 5 divide codes lineup, assuming you haven't spent all of those codes. Personally, I think my first major pickup is once again going to be Dimitri. Just like last year, his special is pretty solid and has a lot of users. I also want Johanna Tethys. I tried to get an extra copy on her banner, but stopped early. It looks like I will be able to pass her new dagger to her old OG self. Another easy cheap pickup will be Leith. Attack Speed Clash 3 fodder is just too valuable, especially with this batch and its 3 Excel holders. Thank you for watching, good luck getting what you want, and I will see you in the next video.